Welcome back to Travolting. Hosted by Jeff Sweeney and Stuart Elmore. Covering The Forger. Enjoy the episode. Why not do this? Because the house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big. Then you take the house.
Is this a quote from the movie that we're about to cover?
No, this is a quote from Ocean's 11, which is a significantly better heist movie than the movie we're about to cover.
I was like, wait a minute. I don't remember this in the movie at all.
No, that is from Ocean's 11.
A much better heist movie.
A movie I consistently thought of while we were watching this movie.
Yeah, so hello, everybody.
Hello,
thank you for tuning in to Travolting.
Welcome to Travolting. Thank you for tuning in last week to our episode on Killing Season with Brian. Hope you folks enjoyed.
Calf muscles are strong, Jeff. They're very strong.
The strongest muscles in the world,
they
apparently.
can hold up an entire person's body weight with a wire ripped through it. Yeah.
You know what else is strong?
Travolta's accent in that movie.
Travolta's accent in this movie. But also the ability to time travel your mind back to 1500s France and embody the soul of famed painter Claude Monet. Because that's right, folks. This week, me and Stuart, we're here talking about The Forger.
The 2014, directed by Philip Martin, The Forger.
Classic. Oh, wait. Sorry. No, it's not.
The Forger? A classic?
No, I will say, not a classic. I did have a very pleasant experience watching this movie.
Say, this wasn't a 0% movie. This was like a 20 to 30% movie. Like, I had a moment or two that I actually kind of enjoyed. And I was like, huh, that's okay. Like, that's nice.
Like, there was this is not a good movie.
No, it's not.
But it was a very pleasant experience. Like, I sat there. I was never, like, angry at it. I just sat there. It happened.
Yeah.
I felt calm during it. I felt at peace with myself. And the movie happened.
Do you have you seen A Portrait of a Lady Lady on Fire?
Yes, I have seen The Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Have you?
No.
Why are you bringing it up?
Well, because I've seen enough ASMR videos where it's the painting scenes from Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I've seen the movie.
Oh my God. I guarantee you the painting scenes do not. That's a movie about forbidden love and lust. And
no, it's about painting a portrait.
Yeah, of a lady on fire.
So I feel like I've seen the whole movie just by watching those 3 painting scenes. But anyway, this movie has that.
Yeah, it has
but
those ASMR.
Better. No, not better. But it does have a version of that.
Okay.
Of John Travolta painting a Claude Monet.
And does he paint in this movie?
Oh, does he paint?
Yes, in what is certainly a quite the motion picture.
Yeah.
So this movie we can leap into the context corner. Do you feel confident to do that?
I feel confident. It's your corner.
Yeah, I feel Okay, so we're stepping in. That's us walking over to the context corner.
Dun, 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 dun. Context corner with Jeff Sweeney.
Okay, so we're in the context corner. So Travolta's at a pretty low point. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Back-to-backs, Savage's Killing Season.
And now this movie.
From Paris with Love. I keep wanting to say From Russia with Love because of the Bond movie.
I mean.
The better Bond movie.
Yeah, better Bond movie.
From Paris. Like, we're firmly in, like, Travolta exploitation content right now.
Yeah.
These movies aren't, for the most part, being made with the intention of being great. They're being made as, direct-to-video, direct-to-television, like, limited release runs.
Yeah.
Very, like, they're exploitative movies that are there just to make a quick buck and get out.
Yeah, and they're still utilizing Travolta as if he's a big pull, even though he's very well off not a big pull anymore.
Yeah, he's at upper lower tier right now. Like, he's an upper level low tier draw.
If it's like A-list actor, B-list actor, C-list actor.
Yes.
He's like low B-list, upper C-list at this point.
I would say upper C.
Yeah.
Like, he's firmly in the territory of, like, someone will know who he is. Like, these movies are made with the idea that, like, the random person looking at the red box is going to see the DVD that has John Travolta holding a gun on the front of it, or holding a paintbrush, maybe, in this case, and be like, oh, Travolta, probably okay, and then buy the $2 red box.
And then regrets it.
Yeah, and then watch it and be like, well, that was a waste of my time.
Yeah.
Or, like, or the person who's flipping through the channels and sees Travolta, like, really spinning the brushes on there.
What?
And it's like, all right, I'll stop on TNT and watch some of this.
Biggest problems with that is we talked about that, of like the programmers.
Yeah.
And Travolta back in the early 2000s and 90s was like, I would almost call the king
Of the programmer. But
like,
he was the king of, like, the theater programmer at that point.
Yeah.
At this point, he's the king of the red box.
Yeah, like you can't even call it TNT anymore, just because, like, when I say hear TNT, I think of Ladder 49, I think of Phenomenon, I think of lawyer movie with James Gandolfini and the Poisoned Water, Civil Action.
Yeah,
like I think of those movies. Those are the top.
When you say
tier.
Travolta James Gandolfini movie, you're not really narrowing it down, as we discovered.
We discovered. No, but like I feel like there are those programmer movies that are like on the TNTs, on the TBSs and the AMCs, where it's like you flip through it, you watch it, you have a couple of commercials, and you finish out the movie, you look at the clock, it's 11:30, and you thought, oh, that was a good night, and you go to bed. And you don't really waste your time. You feel like it was pretty decent.
And the difference is those were movies that had a second life on television.
Yes.
Like, even if they didn't make a lot of money in theaters, like, it was a second life for them coming out.
Yeah.
And, like, being big TNT hits, or,
well, we
AMC.
talked about that. There's a lot of those movies where, like, yeah, sure, they weren't box office hits, but, like, for instance, Ladder 49 had a lot of DVD sales or something like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those movies that he did that may not have been, like, huge box office smashes, but, like, DVD sales were really crazy.
But it's movies like this that are firmly made for the idea of, like, having their first lives on TNT, AMC, like, popping up on HBO.
But with that, what niche is this movie filling in? Because it's not for the heist crowd. It's not for the artistic crowd. It's also it's hard to say if it's for the family crowd.
It is made for the the heist crowd for an $11 million budget.
$11 million budget.
Yes.
And that's
half of which probably went to Travolta and Christopher Plummer.
Yeah, Christopher Plummer's in this movie, guys.
He is in this movie.
And
God rest his soul.
Ty Sheridan.
Ty Sheridan's in this.
Cyclops from the new X-Men movies, and the guy in Ready Player One.
Yeah, and the kid in oh my God, what's it? The Card Counter. Great movie from last year.
Cool. I didn't see it.
It's a good movie.
All right, great.
Oscar Isaac plays a card counter.
Huh.
How can you not want to see that? Whatever.
Yeah. Do you know there's a movie that came out and Robert Pattinson plays a bat?
Man. Whoa. Rough. So yeah, that's basically the niche that Travolta's in right now.
Yeah.
Is these, TV programmers.
Red box programmers.
The red box programmers.
Yeah, I'd almost go straight to red box programmers, because who's even putting this on TV at this point? But yeah, Philip Martin. What has Philip done?
The director of this motion picture, Philip Martin, he has directed, drum roll, nothing that anyone has ever seen. Okay, correction. He has directed 7 episodes of The Crown, which is his claim to fame.
So, good series.
Yeah.
I assume he directed a few good episodes.
Yes.
Maybe not all of his episodes were good. I don't remember. The episodes of The Crown that he did. Oh, I did rank one of the episodes that he did, and I ranked it an 8 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh, okay.
What episode was that? Oh no, it was just the entire series. Never mind.
Okay.
So I gotta take it back. Then
he seems like he basically was like a TV movie guy, who eventually went back to TV and found some success in it with The Crown and whatnot.
Yeah.
But this was, from the look of it, his like one jump to a theatrically released film.
Mm-hmm.
Which was, it got a theatrical release, but that, like we just said, that was not its main intent.
Yeah.
But this just was one jump to like theatrical feature film. And didn't really work out for him.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, that's basically the context corner of this movie.
Yeah,
There's no exciting anecdotes. There's not really. There's one piece of trivia on IMDb. That I think is truly magical.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one about John Travolta traveled to Hong Kong to study oil painting to prepare for his role in this movie.
Which I
have several questions.
Well, I just think
this movie is set in Boston,
and it's not about any oil painting of a Hong Kong like culture.
Yeah,
it's French Monet impressionistic painting.
Charles is like, that's just fantastic. I want to go to Hong Kong and study oil painting. They're like, John, it's about a French painting. He's like, great. And he's like in the plane.
Or I honestly think
he's flying his Boeing over to Hong Kong.
I honestly think it's like Travolta was in Hong Kong when he got the call that he was in this movie.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's just fantastic.
I think that's the one sentence we say for Travolta.
I'm in Hong Kong right now. And, I actually was looking at some oil paintings and I think will really benefit myself for the film. And then flash forward 2 years, he's doing a press junket for this. And he'd be like, oh, so when you found out you got the role, was there any preparation for this? It's like, well, it's funny you should ask because I was in Hong Kong when I got it. And if, lo and behold, that person added that on IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's like the equivalent of like someone being in like a martial arts kung fu film and being like, yeah, I traveled to Venezuela to learn the fighting style. It's like, wait a second. Wait a second.
It makes no sense.
So yeah, that's the only bit of trivia about this movie that I could possibly find. It kind of just came in and out without a blip.
We said Christopher Plummer's in this movie.
Christopher Plummer is in this movie.
Doing what?
Getting a paycheck.
It played a crusty old grandpa.
Crusty old Irish grandpa.
Oh yes,
his accent seems to be coming in and out in this movie.
It is coming in and out.
Like there's parts where he's like full on, oh yeah, coming over from the boat with the potatoes and whatnot. And then there's parts where he's like, let me tell you, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, he does both like the harsh Boston, but also then the strong Irish, and it's like, why are you doing that, Christopher Plummer? You're worth so much more.
He got paid for this movie. I'm sure. I'm sure he was very happy.
I'm sure he was among a good chunk of the 11 million.
Yes.
So, Jeff has already yawned once in this podcast. Things are already getting dire. We must go.
Should we jump right into the plot?
Let's get into the plot.
Okay. So, what does the movie start with?
It starts with my favorite impressionistic painting of John Travolta in jail,
in prison. Not only in a physical prison in this movie, but also in a career prison of his own making.
Yes.
It's funny. Like, he turns around, he stares at the bars, and the metal bars are actually made of, like, DVDs of his failed movies. It's like, there's, like, a Battlefield Earth one.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
There's a Lonely Hearts one. It's, like, really small in the corner.
And then there's the music video with him and Olivia Newton-John.
Yes. I think you might like it.
I think you might like it.
We did not like it.
We hated it.
But no, he's in prison, and he has. Can we talk about the soul patch?
Oh, you want to get into the hair?
Like, we can get into the hair, or we can just talk about the soul patch. I mean, there's part and parcel, right?
I mean, it's an accessory of the hair.
Yeah, because there's something about the soul. Let's just cue that music.
All right, cue the hair ranking music. Welcome to the hair ranking. So yeah, John Travolta's hair in this movie.
Okay, so the soul patch
has no business being there.
It has no business being there. not a fucking incent of business being there. But I'm not sure. Did you notice it's like slightly off center?
Yes.
It's really unsettling and distracting. It's like
I can't stop looking at it.
It's like it kind of goes in like a V formation.
I feel like it moves partway through the movie.
Yeah, it's like soul patches do. But instead of like setting perfectly at like the center of the chin, it's like maybe like half a centimeter over.
Yeah.
It's really unsettling.
It's very unsettling.
Every time I look at him, I'm like, just slightly off center. Can we just like move that guy over a little bit?
Well, it also goes to the point of why does he have a fucking soul patch?
He's a hard guy for prison.
But like his hair. So to talk about the hair ranking, his hair is fine.
Yeah,
it's fine hair.
It's basically like your haircut.
It is basically. I was about to say that. Like, for folks in the audience, no one probably knows what I look like. Although we did get that one subscriber who sent us a drawing, and it was
shout out to I think we already gave them a shout out.
Did we already give them a shout out?
I believe we did.
I'd hate to give them another one.
You'd hate to give them another. No.
Shout outs are very expensive on the Travolting podcast. We hold them absolutely.
I just don't want to talk and be like, yeah, this person happened if we've already talked about it.
No,
like,
I mean, I don't think we have. But they sent us a photo of a drawing, and they drew a photo of us. And it was very oddly accurate.
Yes.
I think
for you.
Well, yeah, for me. For you, not so much. But for me, it is very accurate. And I think it's because my Instagram is linked with this podcast, and they probably just like clicked on my profile and looked at some of my photos. So yeah, people can see what I look like. I have longer hair than my profile picture. My profile picture is just me.
I found it. Here it is.
Yeah, and the beanie.
Yeah, it's actually a really nice drawing of you.
Yeah.
With you had shorter hair at the time, I believe.
No, I have longer hair, but I know what photo they're drawing from. It's the photo I took. It's my Instagram profile photo. Because my profile photo is of me at Colorado Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, Rocky Mountain High.
Yeah, and I have like a full beard, and my hair is covered with a brown beanie.
Yeah.
And I think the person just found that photo and drew that.
Yes.
But underneath that beanie, ladies and gentlemen, is... Jeff, would you describe longer hair?
Yeah, longer hair.
Yeah.
A bit of a mane.
A bit of a mane, you might say.
Yes.
Like the devil's rain, bit of mane.
Devil's rain, bit of a mane.
Similar length to John Travolta's hair in this movie, although he also has the gray strands on the front, which don't bump me too much. Like, he's older, he's aged. And it's clearly a wig. Like, that's the thing.
No, he's bald at this point.
Moving forward, we just have to acknowledge that, like, none of his hair is real in any of his movies.
He said like roughly when he shaved it in From Paris with Love, it kind of didn't grow back.
Yeah.
Much to his chagrin, it didn't really come back. But he so it's pretty much wigs from this point on.
Yeah, and I guess like I can still comment on it because the hair is such a quintessential iconography of his character.
We talked about animated hair. We can talk about fake hair.
Yeah.
Fake wigs and shit.
Well, I have my own views on that, but I've been strong-armed enough on this podcast.
Strong-armed enough.
So his long hair doesn't bother me too much, but he's got that fucking soul patch. There's no reason to be there at all, and it's off-center, and it's such a small little Hitler mustache, but on his chin. And I don't understand why it's there, so let's pull up the list.
I got the list right here.
Okay.
I got it.
Can I look at the list? Take it. Look at the list. It's going to go fairly low. Put it below Mad City, above Lonely Hearts.
Below Mad City, above Lonely Hearts.
Yeah. Because Mad
that's
City...
That's honestly number 18.
No, it's not. Let me see that again.
That's like upper tier if you were going to do that. Stuart snatched my phone away from me when I told him it was number 18. He is furiously staring into it.
Okay. Put it below a civil action above basements.
Okay. Below a civil action above basements.
I didn't realize that all those other hair rankings were like in the midst of the standard 90s hair Travolta, where the hairstyle doesn't change for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I got to put it below that because it doesn't make that mark.
Yeah. Forger's the new number 34.
Yeah, that's a good spot for it.
Yeah.
Like the hair's fine. I have no problems with the hair.
It's the soul patch.
It's the fucking soul. It was so deliberate too.
It's a very clear
Someone
choice.
made a choice on that soul patch, and I need to ask them questions.
Okay, so he's in prison.
And
he gets a phone call.
Yes.
From his lawyer. It says your appeals was denied.
It's like
you have to go. You have to wait out 10 more months.
He said 11 more months, and Travolta corrects him and says 10 more months.
Yeah. And he's like, and Travolta's like,
Call Keegan.
And his lawyer's like, you don't want to do that. It's only 10 more months. Call Keegan.
Cut
to Travolta walking out of prison.
Yeah, he got out.
Yeah. He gets out and he gets in the car with
Did you think this was 10 or 11 months later when they shot this? Or did you think it was like he got out early for some reason?
No, I figured he got out early because of that phone call.
I thought we were time jumping 10 or 11 months.
Oh.
Was not very clear to me. But yeah, he gets out of jail. We do find out later, yes, that he got out early.
Yeah, and so he gets out and he's picked up by his brother, Carl.
He has a brother in this movie.
Yes.
Fucking hell.
Or it's Colin or Carl. I think it's Carl.
I don't remember.
But he gets out and his brother Carl, who like is not a character in this movie.
Yeah.
To be fair, to be clear.
No, he's not.
He's like in a lot of scenes, but he's not a character. He's just present. And his brother picks him up and is like, "Why did you do that? Why did you call Keegan? You could have waited 10 more months." And he's like, "Had to see my son." Travolta's doing a Boston accent in this movie, mind you, because it's all set in Boston.
He's trying.
He's trying to do a Boston accent. He doesn't go full JFK like, "I say." What if Travolta just walked in? He's like, "All right, we're gonna forge a painting by Claude Monet." It's like, oh my god.
I need to get into the headspace.
Ich bin ein Berliner. No, he's just like, he's like, I can't even do his accent in this movie because he's just like, I'm a guy from Boston.
I'm a guy from Boston,
Yeah,
and
Boston.
we're gonna forge a Claude Monet painting.
He's like, I'm gonna forge a painting. Kind of like Mark Wahlberg talks to animals.
Have you seen that TikTok where it's like this guy's girlfriend and his dad ranking their accents, and it starts with the girlfriend. She's like, butter, and the dad's like, butter. It's butter. Hammer. It's like, can you pass me the hammer? No, say it like you mean it. Give me a hammer.
Yeah.
Fucking love
Actually,
that.
that's very good.
It's very good. That's what Travolta's doing in this movie.
Yes.
Or he's trying to.
Yeah.
But he goes back home.
Yes.
To where Christopher Plummer.
He's like, "Get out of my house."
I didn't kill my wife.
No.
We're not going to breathe that.
I do want to say it is St. Patrick's Day here in Chicago.
Yes, it is.
And that means it's fugitive season again. I think I'm going to watch it tonight.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's fugitive season.
Yeah.
He didn't kill his wife. There's a man in his house. A one-armed man. He fought with this man. You find him. You find this man. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Watch The Fugitive every St. Patrick's Day. It's great.
I'm glad you do. I think that's a very cute thing you do.
It's a tradition.
Yeah.
Classy.
Anyway,
this show's really gone downhill since we entered this.
We're forging our way through this, Jeff.
Okay.
So
he gets home and Christopher Plummer's like, "Get out of my house." And he's
what the fuck are you doing here?
He's like, why are you trying to get out of prison? You could have waited the 10 months. And Travolta's like, "I had to see my son." And Plummer's like, "You got a deal with the devil, didn't you?" And he like starts like vomiting Guinness out of his like a potato like comes out of his ass. It's crazy. No. No, but basically he tells his dad like, my son has cancer. I wanted to see him before he died. So I made a deal with a mob boss.
Yeah, mob boss.
That I would forge a painting in exchange for getting out, in exchange for him bribing the judge.
Yeah, and we all get this in the next scene.
Christopher's like, "I've been doing a fine job raising your son. You didn't have to be here."
I can't do this the entire episode, Jeff. I don't know if I can do this the entire episode. Okay, so we get this bit because John Travolta goes to a nightclub where he meets Sheridan.
Yeah,
or no, Keegan.
Well, we learn he has an estranged relationship with his son.
Yeah, because the son, played by Ty Sheridan, Cyclops from the X-Men.
Number 1 has cancer. Number 2, brain cancer, inoperable stage 4.
Fucking virgin. Weak.
Oh, God, Jesus. Oh, yeah, he is a virgin.
No, we'll get to that.
It's a major part of this movie that he is a virgin.
He asked his
Poor
dad.
Ty Sheridan, man.
Yeah.
It came out of like mud. Like everyone's like, "Wow, this kid's the next big thing," and then he's like, "All right, you're a virgin with cancer. It's gonna be brutal.
You're gonna have sex with a hooker in this movie."
Well, you're gonna almost have sex with a hooker in this movie until Travolta rips you out, throws you off a building.
Weird choice of words. Oh, son, we got to get the go.
So we're gonna get out of here.
Get off the lady, son. We gotta go. The cops are on us.
So yeah,
oh man,
Charles has an estranged relationship with his son.
Yeah,
and he's like, "I'm doing this for you." So he goes to a nightclub where he meets Keegan, who tells him, "You're going to make a forgery of a Claude Monet painting, a woman with a parasol.
You're going to swap it out.
You're going to swap it out. You're going to steal it from the museum.
You're going to give it to me so I can sell it to a
So I can
client.
pay off. So I can sell it to this client and pay off my debt to them."
Yeah.
Because we learned, like, he recently had one of his guys get busted for drugs. Yeah. And he lost on, like, $400,000 worth of, like, material.
Yeah, everybody owes somebody money. Like Travolta.
Yeah, this guy named
owes-
Carlos,
Yeah.
who is like supposed to be like the drug kingpin. He's a very nice guy in this movie. It's very funny.
Well, he's also like got 2 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
It's
At the
tired.
end, he's literally like, "Thank you, my friend, via con Dios," to like Christopher Plummer,
Yeah.
who inexplicably has grown a leprechaun beard by that point in the movie.
He hasn't
Yeah. He says, "Are you be after me, Lucky Charm?" So no, it's heroin, but no. So he goes to this nightclub and he meets Keegan, and Keegan tells him this. And Travolta's like, "I don't want to do it." And this guy's like kind of like rough him up a little bit. He's like, "You're going to do it or else you're going to get dead."
Well, he says, like, I bribed your judge
Yeah.
to get you out.
You owe me.
I can just make one phone call and you go right back to prison. And so then, yeah.
Travolta's like, "All right, I'll
You
do
have
it."
48 hours to answer or whatever.
On his way out the door, this extremely friendly waitress or girl at the bar starts talking to Travolta. And he susses out immediately. She's like an undercover cop.
Yeah.
And goes to his car and she's like, "Hey, can I come and ride with you?" And he's like, "No." And gets in his car and drives off.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Well, that guy's suspicious."
Yeah.
What's her character's name?
I don't know. Yeah, I just wrote DEA agent.
Agent Paisley. Apparently she doesn't have a first name.
Catherine?
Is it? Oh, it's Catherine. That's right, Catherine.
Yeah, I just wrote that down. So this is when Ray, that's Travolta's name in this movie, by the way.
His name's Ray?
Raymond J.
Oh,
Cutter.
yeah, Raymond J. Cutter. Raymond Cutter.
I'm a Raymond J. Cutter.
Well, no, that's Christopher Plummer. He's like, "You're Raymond J. Plutter, ain't ya?" I think I'm a little more pirate there, I think.
Yeah, you are. Get a little piratey with this.
Yeah. And so...
Do you know the most expensive movie ever made is Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger's Tides?
Yes, it's tied with Tangled. I believe
What?
Tangled is also the most expensive movie ever made.
How is Tangled that expensive?
Because they kept rebooting the production of Tangled after animating a lot of the movie. So like it just and like it all got listed under the same budget. So there's like 4 movies worth of budgets.
Wow. Huh. Okay.
But if you don't adjust for if you both adjusted for inflation and unadjusted, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides is still the number 1. The follow-ups are Avengers: Age of Ultron, Avengers: Endgame, and Avengers: Infinity War.
Yeah, the fact that Pirates of the Caribbean 4, not even 3, which I think 1 and 2 are tied for the best. 3 is slightly less good, and 4 is pretty bad.
Well, that's because Pirates 4 had to pay Johnny Depp $200 million for his wine consumption during production.
Hey, it's far more than that.
One of the most insane things someone's ever said.
Yeah. It's absurd. It's far more than that.
Yeah, okay, we should get back to the FORGER because we're about to get into quite the tangent if we start talking about the most expensive movies ever made.
This is when Ray takes.
This is when I start forgetting what happens in this movie. That I watched 2 hours ago.
What happens is Ray takes his son to the hospital for chemotherapy, and as they're in the waiting room, they see this kid with the Make-A-Wish Foundation thing, and he's like,
"Oh yes,
do you think you'd ever want to do something like that?" He's like, "No."
He's like, "No, but you'll be like a genie. And you give me 3 wishes."
Yeah, I think Travolta offers that.
Yeah.
Ray's like, "Well, what if I did that? What if I gave you 3 wishes or whatever, like a fucking genie?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, whatever, Dad." And then he says, like, his first wish is, "Okay, you want to be a genie? I want to
meet
see my mom."
Who he's never met in his life.
And then, of course, Ray tells Christopher Plummer this, and Ray's reaction is, "Oh, bloody boy, you want to meet your mother, you fucking motherfucking...
Your mother's a liar and a wench. She didn't properly peel the potato, if you get my strain of words." And I was like, "Oh, God, Christopher."
So then
I'm setting my own people back.
he tracks down... He tracks down...
He goes to a tattoo parlor. It's
Oh my God, I forgot about...
The problem with this movie is nothing is explained.
No, nothing is explained. Also, can we talk about the stunt in this movie?
Yes, of course we will when we get to this scene.
Okay, yeah.
I think
Thank you for reminding me about the tattoo. I would have totally missed it if you had not brought it up.
okay, wait. The first stunt, because so
There is like the first stunt
so
is
Ty Sheridan asks Travolta to meet his mother at a diner that they go to, and there's 2 random of Keegan's thugs who follow them in.
yes,
And Travolta goes to the men's room, and one of them follows him in and is like, "You got to deliver for Keegan soon." And Travolta's just like, it's all one shot of this stunt. It's like 5 seconds. Travolta just grabs the guy and pushes him into the urinal. And then
like love taps him on the shoulder.
Yeah, and then it cuts to him walking out and being like, let's go.
Yeah, like you just beat the fucker up, and it's like you literally just shoved him down on the ground and punched him on the shoulder. What the fuck is that?
It was very funny.
It was very weak.
So that happens, but he's like, all right, I'll find your mother. So he goes to this tattoo parlor.
Yes.
Um,
Who somehow has a connection to...
Yeah, there's just like a guy in there, and he's like, where is she? And
Well,
the
he's
guy's
like, do you know who I am? It's like, no, I don't know who you are. It's like, I'm Ray. And it's like, you know me. He's like, okay, Ray. And he's like, well, you know who, what's the fuck the wife's name is? Or not the wife, the ex-wife.
I don't think they were ever married.
The mother. He's
the
like,
mother,
you know...
Kim.
You know where Kim is? It's like, I don't know where Kim is. And then, of course, say, you're never allowed in my shop, Ray. Which, by the way, I thought he didn't know Ray. Apparently he does. So then he pulls out a gun. A shotgun. He's like, oh, no, not that type of night.
Yeah.
And then he's like, then he gets a henchman. And then four guys come from the back. This is a very, like, well-guarded tattoo parlor, apparently.
And then Travolta just goes wild.
Well, and then it cuts to this one wide shot of the street.
It's this huge security camera wide shot. Basically,
where they all stumble outside and they're all beating up Travolta. And then Travolta stumbles to his car.
It's like a minute long.
It is like a minute long.
Continuous action.
And I just think about, like, $11 million budget. They probably only had like that street locked down for like 5 minutes.
And it's very clear it's not Travolta in the fight.
Oh,
it's a stunt guy.
It's a stunt guy.
It's a bunch of stunt guys, and like it's not very well choreographed. It's basically just like a bunch of dudes wailing on each other in the street for a minute.
You know that scene in The Dark Knight Rises when they're on the roof and him and Catwoman are fighting and the henchman like comes up to Batman and doesn't get hit but still falls right back? It's on par with that.
There's a lot of that.
A lot of that.
It's a lot just like you see a cluster of guys and they're all just like kind of moving.
Yeah. But then Travolta, after getting beat up, goes to his car. Well, the stunt double Travolta gets to his car, gets a bat, and then just starts like wailing at he starts fucking wailing at these guys, and he starts winning, and then it cuts to the inside, and Travolta coming back in with the bat, and they clearly just put like blood on his face to make it look like he just got in a fight, and then he beats up
this guy. He was like, "Where is she?
Where are the drugs?
Where are the drugs going?"
I swear I don't know. It's like, swear to me.
No, but he starts pitting this guy, and the guy's like, "Fine, I'll tell you, she's in Cambridge now." And he says like some part of Boston. If you didn't know, this movie's set in Boston. And in case you didn't know, every fucking character in this movie, and now he has the most they're all wearing like red socks memorabilia. It's like
that's right, they are.
There's a part where I think Christopher Plummer walks in the scene wearing a Red Sox shirt, holding a giant case of Narragansett beer, talking in an Irish accent. I'm like, is this Boston?
Is this movie set in Boston?
Yeah. So that fight happens. Travolta shows up at his at Will's mom's house.
Yeah.
In the slums.
And she lives in a trailer park.
Yeah, she's like a drug addict. Drunk.
And so he's like, you need to clean yourself up. Your son wants to meet you. And it's like, oh, I don't want to meet him. It's like, he's dying from cancer. It's like, I still don't want to meet him. It's like, did you not hear what I said?
He's dying
from cancer.
You're his wish.
So
she cleans up and they go out.
And they have a little moment together.
And she's played by Jennifer Ely, who's a wonderful actress from Zero Dark 30.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's great in that. It's a shame this is like her follow-up movie.
But the scene that follows with them at the diner and then going to the park, good scene.
Yeah, I kind of like that business. Like I said, I found this movie very pleasant to watch. Like it was calming.
I wrote down somewhat a touching scene.
Yeah.
How like,
because like she's clearly very nervous. She's still addicted to drugs. She has to like sneak to the bathroom to pop pills.
And Travolta, who's doing his best to like let this moment happen.
Yeah, trying to give his son a special moment meeting his mom.
And not ruin it. But
and Ty Sheridan playing it strong.
Ty Sheridan doing a really great job. Yeah. And then then she leaves. She goes to the train. And there's a sweet moment where it's like Travolta's like, hey, like, I'll be right back. You stay right here. And Travolta there's one little wide shot of him approaching her on the train platform. They don't say something for a while. And he says, thank you. And then he walks away. Yeah. And it lingers on her staying on that platform. And then it cuts to the next scene.
Yeah.
I thought,
and it's Travolta
nicely done.
And Ty Sheridan driving. He's like, thank you for like
pretending
that she's a normal mom for a day.
Yeah. Good scene.
Yeah, it's a good sequence. It's strong. It's fine.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're catching up with Catherine, the DEA agent.
Oh my god.
With her partner, he who must not be named.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Plot line.
Who's like actively just tracking.
Well, it's like they see Travolta, who is on probation, violate his
probation 6 times.
like parole like 6 times and not arrested.
And they have the footage of him fighting the dudes at
But
the tattoo
why is he violating his parole
Yeah.
6 times? We should keep following him. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They're not.
That's the thing about this.
Sorry, at one point, because this gets later in the movie, where the brothel scene, where literally the cop says like, "Well, if we don't bust him now, then we're not doing our job."
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is the point.
Yeah.
Come on.
Like, I use that Ocean's 11 quote at the beginning of the movie because Ocean's 11 is like the paragon of a heist film, in its structure and how it's told and whatnot.
Yeah.
This movie is a heist movie where nothing goes wrong at any point. Everything just goes fine for the characters committing the heist.
Have you seen what's that Dave Bautista film about Vegas and zombies and it's a heist film?
Oh God, I know what you're talking. Army of the Dead.
Yes. Have you seen it?
I've not.
It's actually kind of fucking dope. Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of
A Snyder cut. Wow.
Yeah.
Can
I just read the plot summary for
I
this
understand the plots. I've seen
Following
the trailers.
a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, a group of mercenaries take the ultimate gamble, venturing into the quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever attempted. Is it not the greatest shit you ever?
Did you watch the prequel?
There's a prequel?
They made one of the characters in it, like the German lockpicker or whatever, directed a prequel about his character called Army of Thieves, which has no relation to zombies. It's just him robbing banks in Germany.
Fucking A. I might watch it.
I think that's funny as hell. Anyway, back to the most exciting movie ever. We're clearly in the pocket on the Forger today.
Yes, we are.
But yeah, this DE agent Catherine's just following the breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
And she's like, he's involved in something. And that's that.
I literally could not give 2 shits about this DEA agent
this
plot line. It makes no sense.
There's a very funny moment though where like she goes outside with her partner and her partner like puts a cigarette in his mouth and goes to light it, but he fails to light it. Did you see this?
No.
He like has the cigarette in his mouth and he like brings the lighter up and does like the and like lights it, but it doesn't catch. But he's already done it in the scene, so he can't like do it again, blocking wise. So he starts just like smoking a cigarette that's not lit. It's extremely funny. He lights it and then he's just like.
Do you notice that? Whatever.
But it's clearly not lit.
Yeah.
It's just like holding there, and he does like all the motions with it.
Did you notice that the scenes that took place in their like quote unquote precinct had wall stains of old art that were taken down?
No.
Yeah. Like very much like they just rented out an office that had like indie art on it.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't want that there. Take it down.
Yeah.
And they just took it down, but they had like, you know how when you take like a painting or something that's been on the wall for a while, there's like a little stain that highlights the wall. Like there are those stains on the wall.
Yeah.
I just noticed that with the production design. I'm like, did no one see this on the camera and thought like, can we just wipe? They're not hard to wipe off.
Yeah.
Take like a Clorox wipe it. It doesn't ruin the paint or anything, but you just get the stain off. And no one fucking bothered to do that. Whatever.
We're putting as much effort into talking about this movie as they put into making it.
Exactly. So I want to get to the brothel bit. Can we get to the
First, we're back at the house, and Christopher Plummer and Travolta are drinking beers, and Ty Sheridan's like, "Can I get one?" And they're like, "Fuck it," so they give him a beer.
Well, teach the kid while he's young. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of the vision of the 3 generations of this family just sitting around drinking beer.
Yeah.
All depressed that the youngest one's gonna die of cancer. So his second wish.
This is soon after the mom bit, isn't it?
He's like, Dad,
I know what my second wish is.
I want to have sex. I want to lose my virginity.
To you.
Oh no, he says I want to lose my virginity. I also want to say Ty Sheridan actually kind of looks like he could be John Travolta's kid in this movie. It's a good father-son matchup.
Yeah,
it's like a good casting, like for someone who could conceivably be his kid.
Yeah. It isn't like fucking Robin Williams with his daughter. It doesn't look like Robin Williams' Spawn at all. Mm-hmm. But it's John Travolta's. Yeah. But instead, yeah. Anyway. So, He wants to have sex, but he broke up with his girlfriend.
Yeah, Trisha, who we don't see until the very end of this movie. When they reconcile. It's very cute.
Cute is a word.
And so his dad's like, "What?
Well, he's like, what am I going to do about this? And then he talks to his brother, Carl, about it.
Because apparently this is a family of thieves.
Yeah.
Because like, it's established that Christopher Plummer has experience like doing ripoffs and whatnot.
Which we only get until like the very end.
Yeah, we only see at the very end of the movie. The whole time you're like, oh, he's just disappointed his son's a criminal. Like, no, he's a criminal too.
Yeah. And so he's talking to Carl about it. He's like, well, why don't you just like buy him a hooker or whatever? It's like, I don't want to buy him a hooker. It's like, what? You had his vision that he's going to meet somebody, fall in love, and have sex at the back of a Buick? He's like, yeah.
That's what I want.
That's what I want.
But no, Travolta just gives in and brings Ty Sheridan, his 15-year-old son, to a brothel. The DEA is outside because Travolta's doing nothing to hide his movements.
Yeah, and they're meeting this lady named Melanie.
Yeah. And
they knock on the door, and this young woman opens.
And she's like, Carl explained everything to me. We'll be done in an hour.
How? I have legal questions about this.
Legal?
Well, I know it's not legal in the first place.
Yeah.
Which, sex work is valid work and should be legal. Yeah. But, first off, he's 15.
Yeah.
So if he's dating a consenting adult, that's already statutory rape.
Yes.
But is she not over 18?
No, I believe she is. But I believe that they're like within the brothel code. They're making an exemption. I don't know.
They're gonna fuck a little boy.
Yes.
Like, I'm sorry to make it really graphic.
No, it's
but
very strange.
But that is what it is.
No, it's definitely
like
it's the strangest scene in this movie.
A female over 18 is gonna have sex with a little boy.
Yeah.
And this movie is gonna expect us to be okay with it.
Yes. And Travolta's just gonna stand outside and be like, "Yeah, my son's
Which is
in there."
like, by the way, if you had, no, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna say anything. Anyway. So
this movie's very strange in how it handles this. But anyway, the DEA is like, all right, I guess we'll bust him now. And so they run him. And so Travolta's like, we gotta go with the cops.
So he bangs open the door, he opens it.
And he finds like Melanie like about to, and his son about to have sex. And he's like, no, because the movie's like, well, we can imply it, but we can't like have them actually do it. Because that's a problem.
Because then that's child pornography.
Yeah. And so he grabs Ty Sheridan and they run to the roof of the building.
Yeah.
And they jump from one building to the other. Ty Sheridan's like, we could do it, Dad. And Travolta's like, I don't know. And so they get around and jump, and they jump to the other building and go back. It's all fine. There's no... That's the thing. That's the thing about this movie.
Nothing ever goes wrong.
Nothing goes wrong.
Yeah.
There's no instance in this movie where the characters face any conflict that is not immediately resolved for them. Yeah. Every time Travolta like gets jumped, he beats the guys up.
Yeah.
He wins the fight.
Yeah.
Anytime he's strong-armed by his boss, he has an out. Anytime the DA gets close, he's just escape.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
He's forging the path.
Yeah. And so he goes home and he finds Keegan in his house.
Oh my God.
And Christopher Plummer like pulls a shotgun out of like his, I don't know, like Guinness shelf or whatever.
Get your fucking ass out of my house.
Christopher Plummer opens the potato cabinet and he like pulls out a shotgun. He's like, get out of my house. And Travolta's like, whoa, Dad, whoa.
Not that kind of night.
Yeah, he's like, not that kind of night.
It's broad daylight, by the way.
And he's like, Dad, get out of here. And so Travolta talks and Keegan's like, we need the painting by 11 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
And Travolta's like, you got it.
This movie then seamlessly turns into the National Treasure.
Yes. It cuts to like Travolta. It's like a 10-minute sequence of like Travolta being like with his son. He finally connects to his son through art.
Yeah.
They're sitting there. He's like, see, the thing is, the thing is, son, like, you know, when it comes to, you know, painting like this Monet, you got to really get into his mindset and like really put yourself in his shoes at the time in 1575. And so Travolta, like, it's like, and he's like painting this. It's like 10 minutes of Travolta like artistically like sketching and drawing and making this forgery of a Monet piece of artwork.
And then he's finished and it's perfect.
Yeah, and then it's perfect at the end. And he and his son are like, wow, we did it together, Dad. And he's like, this is going to be a family heist. And so...
As if, like, bringing your son to a brothel wasn't bad enough.
Yeah. And so then it goes full National Treasure. He and Ty Sheridan go to the museum.
They plan the heist.
Yeah, and Ty Sheridan hides an event. as the museum closes.
Christopher Plummer plays the old crusty, dementia-ridden grandpa.
Yeah, who walks, he's like, I'm drinking a Coke.
He's like, sir, you can't have that here. Oh, no, I can't drink a Coke in here. Oh, it's my Coke. And he's like, oh, I'm going to go leave now. And then he smirks. He breaks the fourth wall, looks at the camera, and has the keys.
No, he breaks it. He does actually do that. Not look at the camera, but he does, like, wriggle the keys.
Yeah. It'd be even better if he like broke the fourth wall.
And he's like, "Oh, Plummer still got it."
Then they heist. They don't wear masks.
Yeah, they don't wear masks. They just wear like black suits. And Christopher Plummer's like moving at like slow speeds. He's like ambling through this because he's old. I said Plummer's slow rolling through the heist.
So heist night. I wrote down they get away because they set alarms off.
Yeah, they go in. Ty Sheridan
they cut the
screws
power.
the guard's door shut. They cut the power. They take the Monet off the wall. They put the forgery up, and then a guard chases them out, and they get away.
Yeah,
and that's that.
That's very easy.
Yeah,
there were no problems happen.
And he goes to Keegan, and he's like, "Here's the painting." And Keegan's like, "Thanks." And he's like, "Oh, and you linked me up with that." What do they call it? Like someone who evaluates artwork?
Not the curator. Appraiser.
And
yeah.
he's like, you linked me up with the appraiser, and he's like, yeah.
Well, tell me how much it's worth.
And so this is the twist. The twist is Keegan has one of his guys bring the Monet.
And they beat up Travolta, by the way, and say you're not out of the deal or whatever.
To this drug kingpin Carlos as a payoff. And he's like, all right, bring the appraiser in. It's Christopher Plummer, the fake out, who tells Carlos it's a fake, it's a forgery. And so now Carlos thinks Keegan's been ripping him off. And Carlos is the most chill drug kingpin of all time. And it's just like, it's all good. And he hands $100,000 to Christopher Plummer.
He's like, take this as a token of
he says, via con Dios, go with God. And he walks off.
He leaves. By the way, what's John Travolta doing this entire time?
He's sitting in the car at the DEA agent being like, let it play out. Let it play out.
Let it play out.
He literally does the it's like the ending of Ocean's 11, but so low effort.
Yeah.
Where it's like the con men.
Right.
And so he's like, let it play out. Just let it play out. And Christopher Plummer comes out. He's like, I got the money. And the DEA agent's like, what the fuck is happening? And he's like, all right, go up to that building. You'll find a real Monet up there. Bring it to the museum. They'll know what to do. And then we just cut to a shot of dead Keegan.
Yeah.
And the DEA agent's like, wow, this all really tied itself up with a bow, didn't it? Carlos, the drug kingpin, had Keegan killed. Carlos was arrested because we caught him with a Monet. John Travolta's off scot-free.
Yeah, no consequences for the Cutter family.
Yeah, because they're like, yeah, we helped the DEA. We cut a deal. And the DEA's like, did you?
And they also got $100,000 of blood money?
Yeah. From a drug kingpin?
Yeah, so I wrote down at this point,
beach?
What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, and it just cuts them on a beach.
Well, and we forgot there's the bit where he gets laid. He gets wish number 2.
He gets wish number 2.
And because like they are sitting in the car, Christopher Plummer and John Travolta, and they're like, why is it taking him so long? In 2 minutes and I'd be done and out of there.
Yeah.
And then we cut to on the front porch, Ty Sheridan.
And Trish.
Yes. Who we've only heard of
consensual
but not
sex
seen.
with his high school girlfriend.
So therefore it is not illegal, dear reader.
Therefore it is not problematic for this movie to show.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They show it for 20 minutes.
Yes.
It's a 20-minute sex scene.
No. But then they go to a beach somewhere.
Yeah.
And John Travolta and his son have like a moment together. I can't even remember what they say.
I don't remember what they said either.
They're like, you're my son. And he's like, you're my dad. And then Christopher Plummer like, he runs through nude in the background with a leprechaun hat. It's crazy. And he's just like, they're after me, Lucky Charms.
People think he's lying, but he's not. It's a real thing that happens in the movie. Oh, Christ.
And then the movie fades to black and Ocean Man starts playing. It's like, Ocean Man, take me to the land that you understand. Ocean Man. Ocean Man, living up a lifetime in the sand. Yeah. That's how it ends.
Thanks.
It doesn't actually end with Ocean Man, but it should.
But it does end with Christopher Plummer running nude across the beach.
Yeah,
screaming,
full
"Why-
frontal.
They're trying to take my Lucky Charms.
It's heroin. It's not Lucky Charms. He's senile.
Right.
That's the end of that. That's the end of the movie.
That's the end of the Forger.
Yeah. So the movie comes out. Forger comes out.
Oh, there's post-text to this movie?
I mean, it has to be.
Oh, my God.
Every movie has post-text.
Okay. What's the post-text of this?
So this movie comes out. It premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival.
What?
In the
How?
Saban Films bought the distribution. This is one of those movies where like they pre-sold the international distribution rights before the movie came out.
Okay.
So it made its budget back before it was made.
Dope.
Essentially. And it was bought for $2 million by Saban Films. Comes out on April 24th, 2015. It makes $16 million total, so it doesn't make its budget back, but it already made its budget back by pre-selling. That's the secret of these direct-to-video movies.
Yeah.
They pre-sell their international distribution before they're even made.
Okay.
So it's made its budget back. The people who funded the movie get their money, and then it doesn't matter if it makes box office funds, except for the people who bought the rights. Wow. But the original production company's already in the black by the time this movie's made.
What a business model.
Yeah, I took a class once with a guy who actually was one of the studio guys who would do this, and he's describing how great you just go to festivals and you're like, got this movie, The Forger, John Travolta, we're making it for $11 million. It's got John Travolta and Christopher Plummer. Who wants it for Mexico? Who wants it for Venezuela? Who wants it for Thailand? And people be like, I'll buy it for $500,000 to distribute it in Thailand. It's like, here you go.
And how much would it make? For instance, if you sold the international rights to Venezuela for $500,000, then they make how much money that it makes in Venezuela?
Yes, whoever you sold the rights to makes all the money that it made in Venezuela. They
in that country that they buy the
Yes.
international rights from.
Yes, and because they paid for it up front, and then all profit they get in that country goes to them.
How much money is it going to make in Venezuela?
Exactly, however much you pay the rights for, but then it also includes the post sales, your DVDs and whatnot, streaming.
Again, what all of that is that going to add up to?
Exactly.
In Venezuela. And I know we're using Venezuela, but I mean, because again, I wonder.
It's gambling. You might buy 10 movies like this. 9 of them might be flops, but they have the one hit that pays for all the others. And then airline rights are pre-sold usually.
Fascinating.
So that's where this movie it's structured. But it comes out and makes $11 million or $16 million worldwide. Mm-hmm. So not its budget, but whatever. It gets a 9% Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
You're gonna enjoy this Rotten Tomatoes synopsis.
Please.
The consensus reads: so rote that its star is overshadowed by his wig. The Forger offers nary a thrill or scintilla of suspense that couldn't be overpowered by decent cable drama.
Yeah.
A movie so rote so its star gets overshadowed by his wig.
Oh, they had to do our boy so dirty.
They did him dirty.
They did him real dirty, didn't they?
Yeah. But that's the movie.
That is The Forger.
It doesn't do anything for Travolta's career. Just
No,
we're in the same place we've been this whole time.
I mean, we're in that zone now with Travolta where none of these are going to do anything for him. Which I feel comfortable saying this on the air with you, Jeff. It's partly why I feel like we should cover the People versus OJ American Crime Story. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you on the air why we should. Because it's the
this
one...
is on the record that we should cover People versus OJ Simpson.
I'm not saying we will. I'm just making the case to you, Jeff, why we should. And whether we do or not, that's up to you to decide whether our audience will agree or not, disagree. But now hear me out. It's the one shred of success Travolta has seen in almost 10 years.
Yes.
10 years. And it did nothing for him. Nothing. So, I feel like there's a story with that. At least one episode of the entire series. We're not going to cover every episode per episode, we can just we'll watch all 10 episodes and we'll do an hour-long synopsis about the plot. But then we can talk about, how did they pick John Travolta? Where did it go with his career? Why did it not do anything for him and all that stuff? Because I think he got a Golden Globe nom.
He did.
For that. For Robert Shapiro.
For playing Robert Shapiro. All right. So I'm not going to make a commitment on air.
I understand that.
But I will say, I think there's a decent chance maybe we cover it.
And I hated to put you on the spot. I'm just sort of
maybe we cover it.
I'm making the case that like it came out
maybe we cover it.
2016.
It's 8 hours long.
But we only do one episode.
What if we just pretend it's a movie?
Well, we only do one episode over the whole series.
No, we do the whole thing.
No, I'm saying, but yeah, we watch the entire series, but we cover it in one episode.
Oh yeah, we'd cover it in one episode.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
What if we just pretend it's an 8-hour movie?
Sure, we can do it. And it's also like when we talk about the plot, it's the plot of the O.J. Simpson case. Like everyone
which
knows,
means we're talking for 6 hours and I'm going deep into it.
Everyone knows what happened. We don't have to go fully into it. But it's like the first bit of success that he got in over 10 years.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something we gotta
talk about.
When
did that come out?
2016.
2016. Okay, so we're getting close to it.
We are getting close to it.
All right, we'll make this decision.
We'll
talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Forger.
And then after that, we cover I Am Wrath.
He is Wrath.
And he is Wrath.
Yes.
All right.
Stuart, any final thoughts on the Forger?
I felt like the most impacting part of this movie was the opening shot of Travolta in prison because it's very symbolic of where he's at in his career and also where I'm at with my life.
I feel like I already know what you're writing for the Spotify description of this.
Yeah. Yeah, you could probably guess what the Spotify description is going to be for this.
Yeah. But that's basically it.
Yeah.
Thank you, folks, for listening to our episode on The Forger. Make sure to tune in next week for our episode on Life on the Line.
Oh.
Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, whatever platform you're listening on. As a reminder, we're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. Pop into Reddit, r/Travolting. Find us on Twitter, Instagram, @TravoltingPod. Email comments, questions, travoltingpodcast@gmail.com. Find me on Twitter, @Jeff.W. Sweeney.
Find me on Instagram, Stuart Elmore 95.
And as always, special thanks to Michael Van Buddingham Smith for our theme music, Rebecca Johnson for our graphic design. And have a great week, folks. Get ready to have a life on the line.
Life on the line.